Hello everyone, it's Mystic Juicer back with some more Yomi action, and it is the losers finals, or I never know what these things are called. It is the game before grand finals in the Not Dead Yet tournament run by Flagrant Angles. It is Bob199 versus Three-Headed Monkey, and the winner of this first of four will go on to play against me. So I am waiting in grand finals for the victor here. Feels pretty good. So we're doing some scouting, we're doing some commentary while we're doing our scouting, so we can make all that sweet non-existent ad revenue from our YouTube videos. But it should be a really fun fight. Three-Headed Monkey and Bob are both carousel players. They will play and counterpick, and they do some interesting stuff. They have some interesting starting points for their carousels. I think kind of non-standard carousel. Jesus Christ, some non-standard carousel starts from both of these players, and Bob will occasionally just decide to play a character, random roll or whatever. We'll decide, like, you know what, this calls for a complete just throw of the dice. Let's see how you do against random chance, or the many whims of Bob. I don't presume to speak for his decision-making process, but it should be a good fight, and obviously I am very much looking forward to getting any kind of information I can out of this, that I can. So it looks like Bob may have stepped away, maybe to get a glass of water or beer or whatever the drink of choice is. Perhaps he's consulting whatever mad rubric of stats. He's got Infiltration's old smartphone that he's combing through strats for. And here we go. Okay. Oni versus Zane. So Bob going with the consensus counterpick to Zane. So perhaps thinking that it was very likely that Three-Headed Monkey would go with either Zane or Trock or Geiger. And Oni does very well against all of those characters. Arguably, I think he does the least well against Zane. And the reasoning there is that Zane can actually dodge quite a lot in neutral and get pretty tremendous, pretty successful and efficient damage off of those dodges. So we will see what Three-Headed Monkey is able to do here, shooting 2 4s in a row. So now that he's shown 2 low blocks in a row, he may go for an attack to defend himself. See what Bob thinks. Yes, there we go. Bob deciding to refuel. Three-Headed Monkey still building a hand, though. 11 cards now in hand. Getting that, assembling that value that Zane can do. And so not only is Zane able to get pretty good value off of any kind of neutral dodge, he's also able to capitalize off of any throw or attack combat win in really effective, efficient ways. He deals, he hits like a truck, essentially. Yeah, so not bad there either. So he can really pile on the damage. He can burst down Oni before Oni can kind of assemble enough of a hand to be able, he can catch Oni on an awkward hand and perhaps force him into situations he might not want. On knockdown in these situations, I think as Zane, you just go for throws or attacks most of the time. Yeah, and the reason I say dodge a little bit less is, especially in this early game here, it's not going to matter. Ooh, loses the Joker. It's not going to matter a tremendous amount to take 10 damage if you get queened, or 15 damage if you get hit by wake up 5 attack. So you're not tremendously bothered to lose combat that way, so why not get aggressive? In the late game, I agree, you're definitely, you have to play a little bit more respectfully. You have to be mixing in your dodges and blocks in so that you don't get your head taken off by, wake up 20 with final authority, or wake up 35 or whatever if he's assembled 4 kings in the meantime. There you go. Yeah, Bob now, he knows what's up. He's like, okay, I'm not going to let you catch me with that again. I'm going to play the obvious play of just waking up with queen. That might tell me that Bob no longer has any 5s in hand, because you would probably prefer to play the 5. Oh, there we go. So either play the value trap because he knew that it would make it more likely they'd be able to get the 5 off on the next turn. Or he just drew the 5, in which case you're like, oh, okay, sweet. I just set myself up with an accidental, unintentional value trap. So now Bob's got to decide whether he wants to discard anything here. I think just not pumping the 5 is also pretty fine. Depends a little bit on what your hand composition is. He is working on a 9-card Oni hand, so that's not too bad. Depending on what's in it, he might have all the tools he needs. Three-Headed Monkey has played entirely attack block so far. So we'll see Bob continue to play a fairly conservative range of block and so blodge and stuff that blows up Zane in neutral. So not going for guard crushes there. Nice. So Three-Headed Monkey, he caught on to the fact, okay, so you think I'm on an attack block range, therefore I can probably sneak in this throw. And he's got Bob down to 46 hit points, depending on what he's got. Nice, finds the jack. Yeah, finds the jack off shenanigans. Almost gets max damage there. Just 3 points shy. Putting Bob at 25 hit points, and this is why this matchup can look fairly even, actually. It depends a little bit on who wins combat first and who develops their hand more quickly, but it's still fairly reasonable. Oh, and Bob gets stuck, either unwilling to wake up with an attack because Three-Headed Monkey has such a life lead that he was expecting him to dodge more often there. And Three-Headed Monkey hits him with the 6 attack on knockdown. He has got the face down. His block also implies that he could have the Joker. I think as Three-Headed Monkey, you don't really need to go in here. If you have lethal, you may elect to put 2 aces down. Yeah, just on the off chance that you clean out the game immediately. This is going to give Onimaru a bit more cards, but he is still on 19 hit points. So every combat that Zane wins is going to be, rapidly closing the gap. So dodges set up lethal in probably 2 if he's got a king or a 9, at least a king somewhere in his hand. Oh, walks right into the fierce wake up 10 or standing 10 from Oni. This is going to even things up. So Bob now taking a bet on the fact that Three-Headed Monkey will not play safe, will not go to Dodge City, and evens things up, brings things within 20 hit points. That is a single successful attack reveal away from evening things out for Oni. Oh my god! He just hits him again. Oh my goodness. Okay, and does not have the Joker, or was not willing to play it there. 5 cards in hand for Zane. He's still capable of winning this, but he's now in the bone zone. If he gets hit with a jack here, man, that's going to be real scary. That is 2 5s as well in the discard. Now 3 5s played overall, so a 7th throw might be pretty good there. Yeah, there we go. Catching the block. Three-headed monkey now a little bit scared of what is to come. The third raw 10 totally would have destroyed. That would have been a horrifying a horrifying way to lose this game for three-headed monkey. Let's see what we see here. That was a pretty fast play from Bob, and looks like it was on the money. Plays the immediate dodge. Is it real? I think you go for it anyway. Yes, closing out game 1. Wow, the comeback by Bob. Nicely done. Nicely done. Yeah, three-headed monkey's got to hopefully take a second here, compose himself, think about what went wrong there, and think about what that might mean about about Bob's tendencies, and what adjustment he should make. So definitely a tense game 1 for Bob there. That can feel very discouraging. Okay, three-headed monkey going to the DeGray or the Onimaru counter pick in DeGray. So Bob, I believe, is of the opinion. So there's 2 kinds of Oni players in the world. There's those that dread playing against DeGray, and there's those that dread playing against Argarg. And both of these think that, well, you know, probably the other one's not too bad. I don't know what the dividing line is exactly in psychology, and I'd be very interested to see what other traits are, if any, are matched along that particular opinion. But I know from discussion and playing against Bob that his preferred counterpick against Onimaru is Argarg. I don't know. I've come around on both of them being probably, you know, reasonably the same. Okay, so we're probably going to see a dodge into queen here. Yeah, there we go. And the reason that's very likely is normal dodges. There's really very few things that you would want to normal dodge into. Rather, I mean, in the early game you might not have the ace, but if you're playing a normal dodge rather than a block, I mean, against Oni it makes sense. You're avoiding guard crush, but I think it's fairly likely. Wow, and three-headed monkey still, you know, still confident about the fact that, hey, in the early game, before your hand's developed, I will take that 10 damage if you choose to wake up with queen. Yeah, that's some big damage there. 13 plus 13, 26. Again, very nice life lead here from three-headed monkey. Let's see if he can do a better job of this game of closing out and sticking and maintaining this advantage here. So the thing that Oni players hate in this situation are dodges. Dodges will be the most difficult thing for Oni to punish. They are, you know, Oni has incredible abilities to control space and make you play to his game plan, so long as your dodges aren't very effective. And the lower his hit points get, the more difficult a time he has playing his game. Because even characters with pretty bad dodge follow-up, say you can only, your maximum dodge punish is like 10 damage, or it's your normal throw, or you know, a super move of some kind. Even those characters only need a few successful dodges in the late game or against a low health Oni to be able to close out the game. Whereas, you know, in the early game where you're both sitting at very comfortable life leads, you kind of you're caught in the pincer of Onimaru's, you know, high normals and his very effective tools to control and deal with fast counterattacks. Okay, yeah, Bob trying to catch some dodges here, and three-headed monkey, it seems, has made the adjustment he needs to. He's like, okay, you know, you're not going to cow me into thinking that you're going to play defensive. Apparently, you're a madman, you're going to go out swinging. So I'm just going to play my safe equivalent. I'm going to hang the Spectre of Dodges over your head, and then I'm going to play some attacks as well. So Oni's got a nice hand size here. De Grey, though, you know, dealing with a massive hand size of his own. And that means that if he ever gets a successful, getting dodged here. So Bob catching on. Okay, you don't want to get blown up by big normals. Okay, I will just retreat into my shell, play the pogo game, show you that I am the Pog champ, the pogo champ of 2017 and all previous years. So evens things up with 20 damage there. And the thing about high hand De Grey in this situation is that any successful ace dodge and any combat win off of attack or throw is just going to lead into massive damage if he has a jack in hand. He did bluff with the jack, it looks like. Nice. There we go. Puts another king on the table. Bob trying to leverage this Clockwork Soldiers attachment that he has. I think it's only one, right? Yeah. Trying to leverage the threat of that and, you know, a 9-card Onimaru with the possibility of final authority to catch exactly that. Ace dodges, blocks of any kind. So going in with the 8th throw there to try to catch some backdashes and some counter throws. You know, Onimaru has very good throw speeds. Ooh, let's not have a repeat here. I wonder if Bob is going to go for an immediate throw after this turn. He's just successfully duffed a throw attempt, and he might be thinking that, oh, okay, you know, last game you lost the game because you went for too many throws in a row. What I'm going to go for here is just to catch your very, very safe backdash, which you are very likely to play. And he does, and Three-Headed Monkey wisely goes, yeah, okay, I know what's up. I know what you think I think I'm going to do. So catches him with the 6. Let's see if he has lethal off of this. I think Onimaru has to face down. Nope, that's it. Closes it out. Max damage. Pulverizing that 10 throw and evening up the set. And now it's now Bob's turn to counterpick De Grey. So who will he go to? Zane. Zane is a consensus De Grey counterpick. I think Geiger does okay as well. Oh, okay, interesting. So Bob going to Argagarg. I wonder why that is. So if he wins this match, it's very likely that Three-Headed Monkey is going to go back to Zane. So I wonder what his plan is here. I'm a little surprised that he would go to Arg. I don't know that maybe Bob knows something that I don't. I guess the things that I would consider tough about this match is De Grey has tremendous damage output. I suppose Argagarg can play a very comfortable low hand style because he is always and forever going to be just fine playing rock, paper, scissors and trying not to get blown up. And wow, Three-Headed Monkey is just absolutely punishing. I mean, he's getting lucky on the combat reveals, getting the correct cross-ups, but he is absolutely, you know, continuously going in on Bob's knockdown. And I'm wondering when Bob is going to catch on to the fact that he has to, you know, actually make an adjustment there. That so long as he doesn't, Three-Headed Monkey's going to go, oh, okay, well, first knockdown of the game, I'm just going to see what I can do. Nice, catches the ace block. See how much damage he can pile on. He can't go too low hand. Yeah, I think this might... It's getting to the point where it could start getting kind of antsy for De Grey. He doesn't deal well with a 4-card hand. I think 4 is kind of that lower limit of his effectiveness, where he can get really, really punished. Yeah, if he gets put on the ground in this situation, Now he's very much on the back foot. Arg has a very kind of mean knockdown setup. He can threaten the fact that he's just going to go for some sort of cross-up, deal a little bit of damage. And if you don't want to do that and you want to wake up with something aggressive, then he just puts an ace block on the table and walks away, you know, getting his marginal advantage that way. Ooh! Catches him backdashing. The reads. He knew? All right, throws into 14 there. And yeah, just much more comfortable playing, you know, throws, basically revealing any combat option here is Bob. He's comfortable playing this. You know, he's got a slight card advantage, now equalized by Three-Headed Monkey. A slight card advantage. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so we're back to it. A slight card advantage against De Grey. De Grey is on his, like, you know, just on the threshold of his effective range of cards in hand. He can get blown up if Three-Headed Monkey chooses to go for a queen reveal, but he's played pretty conservatively so far. Nicely catches this this 3 attack with a 2 of his own, so he's going to be able to get some damage here. Okay, just tacks on the king to get to try to close things out. I like Bob's reveal of the 3 there right after Three-Headed Monkey goes for the ace. And it's really kind of designed to catch two different things. Yeah, it's designed to protect itself against point counterpoint. And this point counterpoint pretty effectively signals that Three-Headed Monkey has 2 aces in hand. And because of just generally how De Grey gets his damage, right, and how effective his ace dodge is, it can really threaten you. It can threaten his opponents, or it can force his opponents to play throw, in which case, you know, his pokes, his counter pokes, and especially his 7 becomes just a monster on the field. De Grey also has kind of an awkward time connecting his ace-ace if he doesn't play it raw, and therefore all these plays that Bob is making at 2.2 speed, 2.4 speed, you know, 3 point something speed are effectively hedging against a De Grey who is unwilling to play ace as a dodge. And now that, you know, De Grey is stuck on 2 aces in hand rather than 3 or 1, it's less likely that he's going to want to dodge in case he loses that ace and is then, you know, stuck in a situation where he just doesn't have the 3rd ace to call, or you know, that 2nd ace to call on to finish things out. So Bob nicely catching the backdash there. Definitely getting a sense that he knows that Three-Headed Monkey is leery or is unwilling to play 2 aces in neutral. And therefore, you know, Arg gets a lot of breathing room in terms of what he is allowed to reveal or not. Nice block from Three-Headed Monkey. Does not walk into Blowfish Spikes. Bob willing to play the double ace just in case a desperation king came out, and he would have, I think he would have, well, he would effectively have put himself almost in a guaranteed situation to win. He definitely has to win, you know, 1 more combat afterwards. Nice king immediately after, though. I like that. Just gets the 10 damage, though. Moral high ground no longer in play. But he is now... Three-Headed Monkey is now in a similar situation against Arg, except that he just has to win combat. Nicely done. Gets around the 6. This could indicate a gold burst, as the 6 backed up with a Joker effectively doesn't lose to anything. Better hope that's a gold burst. Oh, it is not. That is very unfortunate. 14 damage and knockdown gives Three-Headed Monkey another turn or 2 to get busy. Ooh, and puts himself in a situation where he now has 3 known aces in hand, 3 mystery cards on this next draw. And if I am Bob, I am choosing between my attack and my throw. But Bob he has to consider all the options. Will Three-Headed Monkey go for an ace-ace play here? Is he going to do the obvious thing of just dodging? Is he going to do the, unexpected thing of having another 7 and playing it? He's got to... It comes down to a read, I think. Oh no, this troublesome rhetoric, though. I think... So Three-Headed Monkey... I think you name... you do the obvious thing. If you have a 7, you name attack and you play the 7. If you don't have the 7, you probably name attack and dodge. Or you just go for a normal throw in that situation. Assuming you are confident that your opponent does not have a 7 of his own. Be able to counter throw you. No blocks. Okay. Sets up king play as kind of the obvious thing. I think as Three-Headed Monkey, you do not even consider the fact that Bob may have ace-ace. You may think about whether he has another joker, but on a 4-card hand and still left of the deck, okay, all right. Three-Headed Monkey does the safe thing. He does get some nice payoff there. Puts Bob at 8 hit points and gets some life for himself. Pretty good indicator that Bob does not have the joker. If Bob has a joker, I mean, if that was a cover for him having a joker, that's pretty incredible. And no, it looks like we're not going to find out whether he did. Three-Headed Monkey closes it out with the throw into Ghost Riposte, or Final Arbiter, closing out game 3. And will Bob make another switch? Did he feel comfortable enough in that game to play some more? Yeah, okay. Sticks with Argagarg. Making some mental adjustments, perhaps. What adjustment will he make? So, first thing that Three-Headed Monkey did in the first game was just dodge, I believe. Okay. It's cagey. It's cagey, this monkey. Oh my god, it's actually Disguised Monkey. It's Three-Headed Monkey playing De Grey. How did I not catch that? That's amazing. Hashtag Codex jokes. Okay. 7 cards in hand. Basically no information given. Three-Headed Monkey did not reveal an ace block. Or Bob did not reveal an ace block as his chosen block. Could all be part of a bait. More likely, he just didn't have the ace block in his starting hand. This does set up a pretty nifty situation where he can just play double ace now, because it's very likely that Three-Headed Monkey will assume that he just has the single ace. On the other hand, Three-Headed Monkey may choose just to dodge here and defer trying to go in. No, that's not the kind of man he is. He's made the call. He's like, you're going to play that ace. You're going to play that ace or you're going to counter throw me. And he paid with it. With his life. The Devilfish combo. 20 damage off of the 6 attack. Okay, Three-Headed Monkey saying, fine. I'm going to put my 2 aces on deck. They are even on cards, so this Final Arbiter will not deal a tremendous amount of additional damage. Ooh, went for the 7th throw. Playing the same kind of game that that Three-Headed Monkey was playing earlier. Oh, and catches the Gold Burst as well. I'm a little surprised at the Gold Burst after throw. I think that's a fairly low value Gold Burst. Or Blue Burst, I should say. Oh, and now it's Bob's turn to cross him up. Working on a fish perfect here. Doing tremendous damage. Yeah, that'll get ignored. Okay, he had the second one. Still don't know if that was exactly an effective use of jokers. All damage is now guaranteed for the rest of the game for Bob. Ooh, gets his 7th throw duffed. Does Three-Headed Monkey have the third ace that would be necessary to play? He does. Gets the Arbiter. That's the whole reason he dodged. It's like, okay, you're gonna think I've got the ace dodge, or you've got the Arbiter. You're gonna protect yourself from the obvious 7 with an attack. I'm gonna be able to get the dodge and then throw into Arbiter and deal all of the damages. Bob was a step ahead. He knew he knew. There we go. Bob catching the backdash. The face up backdash. Okay, Three-Headed Monkey now just discarding cards on combat losses so that his moral high ground will be more effective, so he can catch up. Does tell me that he probably has a pretty good hand, so expect some jacks and some kings in that hand. Catches him with the point counterpoint, so I think the read on his hand quality is pretty good. Will we see 6 into jack or just into 10? Okay, just into 10. Gets the additional 2 damage, so it does deal 20 there. Evens up the life totals quite quickly. And it's looking far more even. He's still on his low effective range of Degree, but it worked out last time. See if he can make it happen again. Wow, just does it again. Just does it again. Is it going to be another 20 damage? No. Empty 7 throw. Okay. A lot of people on the forums that would have a lot of words to say about that combat decision. See if it works out for him. Okay, gets undercut by the wake up jab from Argagarg. His lights are just that much better than yours. You gotta respect. And 20 damage of his own after Hex. Puts another ace back in his hand. And you've got to be scared as Three-Headed Monkey now to play anything but a blodge. Because what if he's crazy enough just to play ace-ace? Oh my god! Oh Jesus! So Bob now getting punished for being a little bit too smart. Three-Headed Monkey playing hyper conservative Degree for so long and then just puts it on the table. Now he does not, notably, he does not have any follow-up damage. Did get bunked. Did got bunked. Awesome. So yeah, Bob was thinking the same thing. Your safest play right now is just to dodge. So you're going to dodge. I'm going to throw you, and you're going to feel silly. And now Three-Headed Monkey has a very real chance of closing out this game. So it remains to be seen whether Bob actually has ace-ace still. Troublesome Rhetoric against attacks. Wow. Okay. That's an interesting proposition. Oh my god, footsie god. Jesus Christ, that was the most legit footsie play I have ever seen in my life. Okay, so it wasn't as insane as it looked. It was not calculated to beat exactly wake up 5 or cross up 5. But goddamn, I mean, it covers against so many options. It importantly PCP and throw. Like that's all he was really trying to beat, and also another raw bunk. But damn, the fact that it catches the 5 attack was sick. Love to see that. Jesus Christ. This is set. This is set, my friends. This is why we love to commentate other people's play, because we get to watch stuff like that happen. All right, so as predicted, Three-Headed Monkey will switch to Zane. Now, it's still even games, so the advantage is still to Three-Headed Monkey, and he does open up with the Layer 1 wake up or startup 5 throw. Flips open a 7, so that's pretty good. He's going to be able to tag that on for some free damage. Does flip a 2, though. It's going to make his 2s a little bit less likely, a little bit less numerous in neutral. The issue, though, is Zane needs so few 2s to pile on that damage. Okay, he's got the knockdown setup. We've got the Argagarg mix-up. Argagarg really sets the tone of this cross-up situation. So he's got the very obvious ace block. Now that he's already played one, it's a little bit less likely. Maybe he goes for an odd block. Wow, okay, three-headed monkey. He went for the safe, went for attacks. I think that's probably okay. It's still fine, I think, to lose. But Bob definitely taking advantage of the fact that he knew three-headed monkey was going to go in with something. So it was just a matter of which of the suits of attacks are you going to play. And if you don't feel like making a decision, you can play the Joker and put that on the table and start controlling the neutral a little bit. I think as three-headed monkey, yeah, you ignore the threat of ace-ace here. You pretend to be cowed one turn, and then, yeah, you counter throw with a 5, or you just go on the offensive. You go to try to duff throw attempts, and you get that damage. So flips a queen on that one, so he's getting nice shenanigans here. Does not flip any significantly, valuable card. He can choose to Creator and Destroyer here. Get rid of those 2 known aces. And then he should throw this... okay, no. So Crash and Flow denies the Creator and Destroyer play. So 2 aces remain. I think as three-headed monkey, you just play another even attack or throw. Yeah. So because of the flipped 2 and the flipped 6 in Zane's discard... or actually, yeah. So 2 2s played, another 6 played. Those are his only even options. And if he's only going to be playing attack side, which so far he hasn't thrown on knockdown, I think you feel pretty comfortable as Bob playing that way. Nice block here, refueling, playing patiently. Zane players, inexperienced Zane players will get themselves into trouble going low hand and then never choosing to do anything but, throw, attack, and dodge. But Zane's blocks are among the most horrifying in the game, and you would do well to remember to use them. So wake up 5 here, or 5 pokes out the Duff Gardens. So we'll see if Bob actually uses the aces here to get the guaranteed damage. He is down on life, so he does need to recover. But yeah, I like this much more. Play non-aces. He's got a hell of a hand. He's still going to be on 10 cards on his next turn. And he just maintains the threat of aces. The life lead now being closer, Zane does have to respect the threat of ace-aces more. Yeah, so I like this play by three-headed monkey. Just slowing it down a little bit, waiting for his hand to assemble some more valuable cards, maybe pick up some more kings that he can dodge into, some more 5 throws and 7 throws, and just more damage in general. Ooh, gets caught looking with the bubble shield, and Bob will have some advantage time here, and we'll see how he likes to play this. So Zane has played a couple of his really good starter options, so you could choose to just play relatively high attack frequency. Okay, no, goes for throws, so try using the bubble shield advantage time to essentially set up positions where you're not going to get tremendous value as Zane off of any combat win even if you reveal throws, unless you hit him with Anarchy, Ace-Ace in neutral, which is also really weird to play there, actually no, even that is sorry. Zane has to win combat to be able to be allowed to deal more damage. So just throwing is entirely safe. You do not get punished in any way, except really by king in neutral on a bubble shield turn, which is kind of a weird play anyway, and then you just take knockdown, so that's not all that bad either. So three-headed monkey gets the dodge off. Oh my god. Wow. So yeah, so that became much less worrisome for Bob in a brief moment here. I think Three-Headed Monkey definitely is going to put aces is definitely going to put aces on the table here. Get that 19 damage. Put Bob at 21 and rapidly approach the end game. He can try to go for a knockdown setup, but he's already then flipped. Yeah, he can't. He's already then flipped 3 of his aces into the discard. So, okay, interesting. Goes for the knockdown after all. This does give him a setup off of 6-7 into ace-ace, or possibly 9 queen into ace-ace for lethal. So we'll see what happens. Bob has played 1 of his aces, but it's very likely that he's going to have a pair here. See what he does on wake up. Yeah, goes for ace-ace. Just wants to defend himself. Three-Headed Monkey. Three-Headed Monkey electing to... I want to say that he was trying to beat a throw there. He was convinced that Bob would go for a gutsy throw, and just went for the face-up 6 into 7 into ace-ace for lethal. We have 1 joker played for Bob, no jokers yet played for Zane, and none flipped. He's got about a third of his deck in his hand. Well, let's say a quarter. Between a quarter and a third of his deck in his hand. So he's all right. It's fairly high odds that he's got a joker. So he may elect to go for throws here. Ooh, gets hit for 16. And if this is countered, it is not. Okay, so Three-Headed Monkey gets another setup here. Yeah, it's a very scary trade, but it does possibly set up a lethal situation. He's going to, on his next turn, have to decide whether he's comfortable going for lethal against a possible joker or playing for another knockdown if he has another knockdown. Okay, gets both aces in hand. Threatening anarchy, perhaps? Bob putting single ace on the table. Is he going to... Oh, does not have any 7s? No, okay, there we go. We've got the 7s. And now, yeah, this is... If Bob has 1 more 7, this can be impossible for Three-Headed Monkey to win. If Bob has another 7, we see him block. Yeah, there we go. 7 backed up with block is 100% guaranteed not to lose you the game. There is no way that Zane has of knocking you down from that situation, because he can only knock down by comboing into an attack or by playing a raw jack or ace, or a jack or king, and so long as you have protective ward up, doesn't matter if he gets the cross up, you can take the damage and gamble on the fact that you can win it next turn. And Bob navigates the game very nicely, closes out that game, gets up to match point in Arg versus Zane. Will we see Three-Headed Monkey switch back to DeGray? No, elects to go for Valerie. Interesting. Feels that this is a more comfortable matchup for him, perhaps. So a matchup we don't get to see very often. I mean, Valerie just doesn't see much play generally, outside of really character specialists or very niche counterpick situations. The issue with Valerie, yeah, and the thing that Bob is exploiting here is that in the early game, she tends to suffer from the weakest possible hands. Yeah, there's no way you follow that up into a possible joker. Just depriving, putting Valerie on a 6-card hand on turn 2 is such a punishing position for her, that that this is rapidly going to spiral out of control. Nice block on the wake up ace. Valerie continues to be stuck at 6 cards. Arg is slowly ramping up to 13. He's soon going to have all the cards he could possibly want. Once he does, he's actually going to control the neutral, which Valerie cannot deal with. Oh man, this is just, I feel so badly for Three-Headed Monkey here. This is just not, I'm sure it's not what he's expecting at all. That's the trouble with Valerie's hands. She has some of the most difficult to deal with opening hands, the most variable and potentially challenging opening hands out of any member of the cast. And I think that's really why, I mean, among other things with her kit, it's one of the main reasons why she just does not see a lot of tournament play. That makes her too consistent, too vulnerable in the early game against characters who can apply pressure. Even Arg, who isn't really a burst damage character, doesn't get tremendous, damage off of his throws, still has, is able to take advantage of Valerie in the early game, especially a Valerie who's perhaps not ready for that kind of counterplay. And now Bob with a pretty comfortable life lead, put in some dodges, perhaps bait some more cards. Okay, so Joker's there, and Three-Headed Monkey might, with that play, even though it was a combat loss, might have escaped the stage 1 the stage 1 gameplay of Valerie in any matchup, which is just assemble a hand you can use to threaten damage with. So now we're in stage 2, temporarily back in stage 1 here because he does not have a combat reveal that can do anything to Arg in this situation. Okay, trades with a 3 there. That's not terrible. Obviously, you'd prefer not to take 5 damage when you're already down 30 hit points. But assuming that you can get some damage in and that you do not hit too many jokers on the way, or too many double aces or single aces on the way, you are on your way to winning the mid game. Ooh, still throwing. I mean, I like it from Bob. This definitely gives him information that Three-Headed Monkey does not have speed of the burst of speed to be able to contend that. That is a guaranteed burst of speed spot, especially with this kind of life lead situation. Cannot afford to be taking combat losses. You would have to play it there. And now Bob can fairly safely play 2s and 3s and jacks and queens because he's not really worried about getting blown up with anything. Oh, just keeps going in with throws. Just continuously saying, well, okay, I mean, you haven't defended yourself yet. Wow. Okay. So let's hope that this Joker now means that he's got the hand he needs. He's working with an 11-card Valerie. It's no guarantee. Could still be in a situation where he's caught on something awful. Okay, catches him with the throw. This is a nice situation where he could potentially bait a Joker. No. It's going to be allowed in. Did we have aces? Oh, this is going to be a painful combat win for Valerie, unfortunately. He does deal 33 damage and catch up, but he is now on 7 cards again. So I hope those are the highest quality Val cards that he was able to assemble over the first half of this game. Because he's not going to get another chance to be able to block his way into a hand he needs. Okay. Bob hitting the brakes and therefore accelerating towards the end game. Four damage a turn, and Bob can take all the risks he wants. So let's see another throw here, or throw or dodge, I think, probably. Oh, just blocks. Yeah, that block dealt 4 damage. quadrupling the chip damage inflicted on him that turn. No normal draw for Valerie off of that. Okay, catches him with the throw. Does get a knockdown situation here. 2 aces played. No counters played. 10 card hand. Has exactly a quarter of his deck in his hand. Yeah, wake up Queen, because he's got enough counters to make this count, and still no burst of speed. Really? Wow, that is really unfortunate for Three-Headed Monkey. I think Bob can just effectively play attacks here. Doesn't really need to be... Well, he can play attacks and blocks. Doesn't need to do anything else. Okay, gets dodged. Valerie has to dodge into a throw here to continue living. Okay, throws with the 8. Man. No 10s yet played. Only 7 cards in hand, though. Cross-up attempt again. Lots of even played, so probably block odd. Does he go for the throw? Go for the incredibly gutsy throw. Okay, goes for the dodge. Knows that Bob is not yet willing to be hurt. Okay, throw into 7. Rapidly running out of effective throws here. Is evening things up, though. Oh, does he have all the bursts of speeds? No, he does not. And Bob cleans out the set. 4-2. Very close games for the most part. Very nice set to watch. Thank you everybody for watching. Congrats to Bob to making it to Grand Finals. I will be playing him at some point next weekend, probably. And we'll see who comes out on top. So I'll have 2 chances to win a best first to 4, and he will have to win 2. Well played to Three-Headed Monkey, and congrats to Bob to making Grand Finals. And I will see you all next time. As always, check out the links to buying and participating in Yomi in the description below, and enjoy yourself some Yomi. Cheers.